everyone. I'm going to be making some greens, and I wanted to make these greens. I usually like my greens sauteed, but I wanted to make these greens because I used to make them when a long time ago, and I made them a different way before I went to culinary school. And when I went to culinary school, I had to relearn how to make greens, and usually I have a video out there in my YouTube channel, Fun Cooking with Mary, and so my YouTube channel, I have like some greens that are sauteed, and I sauteed them one night, and it was just a really short clip, and I sauteed them, and someone came over and they had some of my greens, and he really liked the greens that I made. And but this is my old way of making them, and my old which I would come from the southern parts of United States, so it's a southern way of making them, and I learned from other cooks that I admired. I would kind of wonder, after taking culinary school and learning why people use certain ingredients. They grow wild over here where I live, and we used to actually go out and pick them and soak them, but they were so bitter, so they weren't the right kind of greens. They weren't the farm-raised greens. So so I love greens. My aunt used to have greens, and they used to grow, and she was in the Bay Area. My Auntie Ruth, she had greens that would grow, the leaves would grow this big. And every time I'd go over there to visit, she would say, I said, Aunt Ruth, do you have any greens? And she goes, oh, there's some out there, go ahead. And the greens grew almost as big as a tree. They grew this tall. Her bush was like, I don't know, I would say as big as my kitchen. That was her greens. And I would take them, and they would be so delicious. So whenever I find greens, oh, I get so excited, because greens are yummy, and they bring good food memories. And so I want to show you how I do it, but I'm going to break a little bit of the rules. So someone said something. Let me see. I gotta put on my glasses. Hi, me. Oh, I'm going to break the greens rule. Hi, Josephine. So, first things first, we have to wash our hands. So, we're going to wash our hands. And I already washed my hands, but I like to wash them so you can see that I wash my hands. Okay. And so, usually, greens are soaked. You don't really have to soak them, but I just kind of rinse them. Just kind of rinse them in a big container like this. And sometimes people destim them, and some cooks say don't take the stems off, but I like taking. I've been taught to take the stems off by my good old Southern cooking folks that I know. So, and I take the stems off because they are kind of rough. The stems are kind of rough. But if you want to put the stems in there, you can. You can put the stems if you'd like to keep the stems in there. Now, when I saute them, I take most of the hard stem off, and then the thick stem. If I had a rabbit, I'd feed the stem to the rabbit. But I don't have any rabbits, so I guess I'm just going to use the leaf, because the leafy part is nice. Now I have my crock pot. Now, the thing with greens is they shrink, but since I'm going to go ahead and put them in the crock pot and have them with some fried fish and cornbread, so I have some water that's already boiling, and you could use stock, but since I'm going to be using, and I have it on high, and since I'm going to be using, now when I saute them, I use smoked duck, which is so delicious. Smoked duck, lemons, onions, garlic, and then I get a piece of smoked duck and I slice it up very thinly. You can do that with bacon as well. And then I just saute them and add some lemon and salt and pepper and all that good stuff. So, and the seasonings that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and I found this at my local organic store, which is the co-op store. And this is